Hello, Rod here. The No Man's Sky update changed some of the aspects of how to build a sphere and a dome. So here's a new and improved version of the tutorial. And I hope this is the last sphere tutorial I have to do in a while. It takes a long time. Not the sphere, the tutorial. The first thing you have to do is build a circle. I have a separate tutorial on that, but I do build the circle several times in this tutorial a bit later on. And for a sphere, you have to build it quite high off the ground. For a dome, you can build it close to the ground. First thing you want to do is select a floor panel, go into the wire menu, highlight the electrical point at the centre of the circle, and then hit wire and place at the same time. Then you want to select the short wall, place it underneath, delete the floor panel, select a floor panel and green state it to the bottom of the short wall. Now hit wire and place at the same time, and pull that wire up to the top wire. You can now delete that short wall. Now select a short wall, reinstate it to the bottom of the floor panel, hit wire and place at the same time, pull that wire to the centre and connect it to the bottom of the angled wire. And if you look closely at that electrical point, you can see it's angled. That indicates the direction of your glitch. If something doesn't glitch properly, always check the direction of your wires. Especially when you've got connecting wires, because sometimes you might pick up the wrong one. Select a floor panel, go into the wire menu, highlight the electrical point, hit wire and place at the same time. That's the wire glitch done. Place a floor panel as so, green state a floor panel, but don't place it, then hit wire and place at the same time. Pull the wire to the centre, making sure you get the right angled wire, and hit place and wire at the same time. Now select the triangle, place it as so. Select the floor panel again. Then we're going to do the reverse wire glitch to the banjo wire glitch for each corner of the triangle, making sure to select the correct connector point at the centre. Once you've done one triangle, you can delete that triangle and repeat the process for the following triangle. Once that triangle's done, you can delete it. Now we can place floor panels 3 out. And for a dome, you just do a semicircle, deleting all the floor panels in the centre. Oh, there's a good reason why I'm using the alloy floor panels. I'll get to that later. Leaving the outer ring of floor panels. It's now safe to delete that long angled wire, but only the long angled wire. For the dome, you only have to do the semicircle for each segment, but as I'm building a sphere, I'll have to do the complete circle. Once you've built your complete circle, you can get rid of those 2 floor panels there. You can now move on to the next segment. It starts like the first segment, using a short wall, green stating it, reverse wire glitching and pull the wire to the centre, checking the angle as you go along, banjo wire glitching a floor panel to the centre, placing a floor panel underneath, green stating a floor panel, doing the reverse wire glitch, pulling the wire to the centre, then following up with a wire glitch. Placing the 2 triangles, doing the reverse to the wire glitch for each of the edges. Delete the triangle, repeat the process for the second triangle. Now it's time to build out the circle. You don't need to go all the way up at the top or the bottom after the first segment. You may find some issues with the snap points, just find the right angle. It seems to work best when the snap point is furthest away from you. As you can see here, I'm having a few snap point issues, but when I rotate my camera around this way, it seems to get easier. Ironically, when you got your glitches down, this is the hardest bit of the build. Once you've made your complete circle, you can now delete the centre bits, leaving the outer ring of course. You can delete those two floor panels. When you've made sure you haven't missed anything, you can delete the ones at the centre, and finally the wire. Now you can move on to the next segment, and at this point I'm not going to show you me creating every segment. After all, it's just repeating the same steps over and over again, but what I am going to do is highlight any major issues or things I think which should be pointed out. Like when you're building each of the segments, you should always double check wire direction. And as you can probably see, I keep checking the edge. That's to make sure the floor panels are blended together nice and tidily. It's rare, but sometimes they go in at a funny angle. So if you haven't done much glitching, just take your time and double check everything. And when you've completed each centre for each segment, just check the edge. Also, later on, once you've built a few segments, you're going to have to go to the other side of the first segment that you first built. For me, that was after about 8 segments. Because those 4 are the opposite side of the long wire, if I pulled a wire from them, that wire angle will be all wrong. The wire will not be 90 degrees, but all over the place. So try to stay at this side of the centre of the circle. When you get close to the end of your build, you're going to have snap point hell. Pulling the wire to the centre isn't much of an issue. Placing the first floor panel is not an issue either, but it's at this point that things start to get difficult. So when you find the right camera angle to get the green states, it's best to stay roughly in that position and do all your glitches from that angle. It'll be frustrating finding the correct position in the first place, but once you've found it, it should be smooth running. I also found at this point when you're building out your circle, best to start from the one at the centre and then work to the top and bottom. You're probably still going to have a few issues with that one there. I don't know why, but the top one always gives you issues. But for a change, that last one was quite easy. If I didn't mention it earlier, make lots and lots of saves. Okay, it's time to attach floor panels to the segments. We'll be using 2 methods here. One will give you a perfect placement, the other is a quick method, and the reason why we use the alloy floors. select a short wall, place it as so, select another short wall, do the reverse wire glitch. The wire should be in the top of the first short wall. If it's not, you're on the wrong side of the floor panel, i.e. the bottom and the top of the floor panel. The reason we're using the stone short walls is for the groove that runs down the centre. It acts as a guide for the first wire. Now we can delete the first short wall, reinstate the short wall again, and reverse wire glitch. As you can see, that wire is locked to the centre of the floor panel. Now we connect the other end to the first wire, the point furthest away from the centre of the floor panel. Now it's safe to delete that angled wire and check the electrical symbol is facing the correct direction. And we're going to do that to every floor panel surrounding the one at the top. But don't worry, I'm not going to show you me doing it to every single one. That'll make a very long video. But I'm going to highlight some important points. Like attaching the wire to this one here is the opposite side of the one earlier. This is because of the way we built the sphere. One side of the sphere, the floor panels face one way, and of course on the other side they face the opposite way. So when you're attaching these wires, you're going to reach a point where it does this. That indicates that you've reached the flip point in the floor panels and you've attached a short wall to the bottom of the floor panel. It won't have much effect on the end build as the wire is centered. The only part that's going to be annoying is when you're placing the wire on this side of the build at this point. As you can see, the wires get a little bit jumbled there, but all you have to remember is it crisscrosses here. And the end result should look something like this. Now the easy bit, we can start wiring the floor panels. If you go with the glass floor panel, you're going to have to use a wire hider, or you could use a wall as a snap point. Once the wall's in place, remove the floor panel, then you can remove the wire, reinstate the floor panel, but if you do choose to do that, I'd make a lot of saves as you go. But in the meantime, you've been watching me glitch these floor panels in place, and the trick here is to follow the groove up. That groove should lead you to the correct side of the wire that you want to glitch to. Also, pay attention to the pattern that's formed at the bottom. Any inconsistencies in the pattern will tell you if you've missed any floor panels. Okay, I'm going to banjo wire glitch glass floor panel to the top. Now it's time to attach wires to the second tier. It's exactly the same as the one above, remembering at some point it's going to flip round. The stone short wall is best for the groove in the centre. Just double check the wire direction as you go along, and don't forget to make plenty of saves as well. Well, that's the last one done. When banjo wire glitching the floor panels to this tier, the edge of the floor panel is more apparent, so it's easier to know which side of the wire to glitch to. And when that tier's done, you can either carry on attaching wires to the edge of the floor panels, or you can do what I'm going to do, which is go for an easier method at this point. I've selected the glass floor panel and switched to the wire menu. Now I've got that little wire end with a dot in the middle. I'm lining it up with the groove and a line running down the front of the floor panel. It's not the perfect method, but it is quite fast. It will save you a lot of time, but if you want the perfect sphere or biodome, then do the wire method that I showed you with the other two tiers. But remember, you're going to have to attach the wires to the bottom and the 2 tiers above it. You may find that space is a bit tight under here, so double check your wire direction and you should be fine. Once all those wires are in place, you can start banjo wire glitching the floor panels to the rest of your build. You can watch me glitch those floor panels or you can just jump ahead. Make a save, the surface of the sphere is now done. It's now time to delete some of the scaffolding. You only want to delete these 2 here, all the way around, so it's easy to put in the floor. Now they're out the way, I'm going to use the circle on the outside to attach 4 small walls, but thinking about it now, I could have just used a standard wall. But anyway, once you've created your drop down, attach a floor panel to the bottom. The best place to find a snap point is from underneath. It should be easier to reinstate the floor for the dome, as you shouldn't have any conflicting snap points underneath. Once you get your floor inside your dome, make a save and you can start deleting the rest of the scaffolding. Once you're happy with the floor inside the sphere, you can delete the scaffolding on the outside. 4-sided auto door time. Place a stone short wall. Green state one above it. Do the reverse wire glitch. Pull the wire and center it like I'm doing. Delete the short wall. Stone short wall. Green state it and reverse wire glitch. And connect that wire to the top of the first wire. Select a floor panel and banjo wire glitch it to the bottom of the wire. Select a small floor panel, attach it to the large floor panel as so. Move the large floor panel up a step. Now you can select the auto doors, snapping them to the floor panel, making sure the struts are facing inwards. To fill in the gaps in the side, just banjo glitch a wall to the auto door electrical connector point. Now it makes it easy to snap a wall to the side. Select the proximity switch. If you haven't already, delete the floor panel at the front, place it, and wire one side to each of the auto doors. Basically, loop round with the wire. It may get a bit confusing down here, but if you did what I did, it's the bottom one. And for symmetry, I think I'll attach a wall to the bottom as well. Now that's done, we can delete that wire. And on the proximity switch, the connector point that's not attached to the doors, connect that to the power. And there's a nice auto door to enter your sphere. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, hit that like and subscribe button, or on the bell thingy. And of course, thank you for watching. See you all later.